Hey, so do you want to learn how to save money in 2024? Well, stay tuned because I'm going to tell you. Oh, I'm sure you've heard it. The gloom and doom of 2024. Hey, Frank Thomas here from Wealth Creation Strategies, and today we're going to be talking about how do you save money in 2024. With the increasing costs going up so exponentially because of inflation over the last few years, saving money is becoming harder and harder, and for some folks, outright impossible. Today, I'm here to give you some hope in that you'll be able to save and start saving abundantly, because it's all about saving at the end of the day. You need to save some money. I've got some really great points for you here today, so let's get right into it here. One of the biggest things I can say to you in 2024 is you need to make sure you review all your expenses on a quarterly, half year. I wouldn't go more than a year. Review all your expenses. And that might mean having a budget. Hey, a lot of people shy away from having a budget, but if you have a budget, it helps you track your expenses. You're not surprised when monies need to come out. And also, too, it makes saving so much easier because you make saving a line item on your budget. Let's run with this. So make sure you do reviews. Now, the reason why is you'll have expenses creep into your budget, whether you know it or not. For example, the cost of gasoline goes up. So you got to pay a little bit more. The cost for heating oil in your house goes up. You got to pay a little bit more. The cost for many things go up. You might pick up subscriptions that you thought, oh, this is really helpful. Review that subscription at the 3-month mark or the 6-month mark. Like I said, don't go more than a year, and decide, is this subscription really worth it? Really important. You'll be surprised how many things you're going to go out the door because you don't really need it. Recently, I actually reviewed my internet services and TV services, and we were not even using the cable services with my local cable company, but I was in a contract. I eventually opted into the fact I sat down and figured out how much is a contract worth, what is the penalty if I just fulfill the rest of the contract, how much am I going to pay, and if I just fulfill the penalty, what am I going to pay? And I saved a whack of money. And the funny thing is, at the end of the day, I paid a $20 penalty and I saved probably about $300. That's a smart move. That's $300 that can go into savings. So review everything with a critical eye. Are you using it? Yes. Okay. Using it to its best effect. Can you go to a lower subscription, etc., etc., etc.? So do review all your expenses. The second thing here is you got to make saving a habit. If you don't make it a habit, if it's very haphazard, you'll not save properly. Even in the beginning, if you save a little, it's more powerful than not saving anything at all or being haphazard about your saving. So as I mentioned in the first point, make saving a line item in your budget. Make it I'm going to pay me first, and I'm putting $50 into my bank account and saving that. You might think that, well, what's that going to do? Believe it or not, it makes a big difference. It's all about up here, and it's about how you feel about it at the end of the day. If you're saving, what's happening is you're starting to give yourself a hedge against, first off, bad things that can happen, aka your emergency fund. The second thing is you can make long-term savings. Right now, I am purposely saving extra into my TFSA, which is where my emergency fund is. Why? We had a big emergency last year and I almost bled it dry. So now I'm going out of my way to boost it up as much as possible, and it has a very high priority on our budget list. So much so that I don't put $100 or $200 or even $1,000 towards it. I'm putting close to $3,000 every month away into my TFSA towards my emergency fund so I can build it back up. And I believe it's important for you to have at least a 3 to 6 month reserve. I've heard of people having a 1-year reserve, and I can actually see the sense in that, as long as you're not sacrificing your long-term retirement savings. The idea of making savings a habit is extremely important, because after a while, you don't miss the money you're putting into savings. You actually don't miss it. What happens is you're saving this, and then one day you kind of look at the balance and go, wow, I've saved $10,000. About a year ago, I looked at my savings account and I went, wow, I've saved over $100,000. And it was just making savings a habit. Point number 3. Now, this sounds like it's kind of not really fits into this list, but it really does. Look for ways to use your time more effectively. Reviewing your expenses, reducing them is definitely a good thing. You want your expenses to go down because it increases how much money you have at the end of the month. You want to increase your savings because it gives you a hedge against when things go bad, as well as future retirement. But also, look for ways to make your time more effective. In other words, are you earning as much as you can in your daytime job? Time might be your most valuable asset right now. So make your time worth as much as physically possible. Hey, has your boss not given you a raise for a while? Maybe it's time to go hit him up and say, hey, dude, the cost of living's gone up. It's time to give me a raise. It's time to look at also the competing companies around you for your position and discover what are they paying. Make sure that you're competitively paid by your company that you're working for. And if you're not terribly happy with where you work, don't be afraid to bone up your resume, make it look nice, update it, and let other companies know that you're available. You might find that sometimes a move from one company to another can be so refreshing, but not only that, it can give you a significant pay raise. I have been a contractor for many years now, and the reason why is every time I go to a new position, I make it part of my deal that I get a slightly better rate of pay every single time. And I've been able to significantly raise my pay every single year for the last 5 to 10 years. In the last 5 years, I've been actually raising my pay by at least 20% a year, which sounds crazy, but it's true. So look for ways to make your time worth more. Also, if you have a few extra hours every day that you're not using effectively, consider picking up something on the side. Even doing a simple job like a cleaning job or starting a small business on the side, doing power washing or whatever it is, it doesn't matter. All of that money is extra money, which means you can save all of it. That's significant. You can take that whole amount, put it towards your retirement savings. In Canada, it's called an RRSP. If you earn $5,000 at the end of the month, you could take that whole $5,000 and put it into your RRSP. And at the end of the year, you don't pay taxes on it. You are basically deferring the taxes on that money to one day in the future. Now you've got this significant little kitty in your RRSP or in your 401k, whatever it is. So make your time worth more effective. Now, before we get into our bonus, and I believe this bonus is extremely important to hear and understand, make sure you subscribe. It helps me out a lot. This channel is growing exponentially, which is fantastic. Leave comments. Tell me things you like about the videos. Tell me things you don't like. Please, it really helps. I've made a lot of changes in my videos based upon listener comments. So please subscribe. Let's get into our bonus. And boy, you got to hear this bonus. You have to treat your savings. If you are serious about saving in this year and going forward, treat your savings as it's like a gold chest, or it's the bank vault. Now, the bank just doesn't leave the vault doors open and allow anybody to walk in. No, they lock that. They protect that. They got alarms. They do everything they can to protect that money. And you should be exactly the same way with your savings. Don't put your savings into something stupid or shady. I'm going to be straight with you. I put my savings into some really harebrained ideas and lost a lot of money in the process. My savings into an investment one time, $30,000 for the savings, and it went boo into the toilet. I looked and I looked hard, but I didn't look hard enough. I should have seen the warning signs, but I didn't. And it wasn't until after that I started to really review everything and go, there's another more insidious way that you need to protect your savings, and that's from yourself, you and your family. Don't just put aside a little bit of money into your check-ins account and leave it there. Get it out. Get it out from being spent, because something will happen, something will come up, or you'll mistakenly spend it. I've done it, and I'm telling you, you do it too. Get that money out and move it over somewhere else. In Canada, we have what's called a TFSA, a tax-free savings account. Pull it out of your normal check-ins account or your savings account and put it into a TFSA account. You can get better returns if you put it into let's say a Questrade account where you're buying stocks like Coca-Cola, it's a great stock. Put it into that. But you got to get it away from you. You are your worst enemy when it comes to your savings, believe it or not. You would think that, oh, I got to protect it against the robbers and I got to protect it against the bad people and all this. No, you got to protect it against yourself because you will spend it or somebody in your family will spend it. I promise you, I've seen it happen time and time again. It's happened in my family and I've learned, take the money out and it's gone. Make the money go away. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I have another great video on talking about saving money in 2024. And I'm going to link it in this video. So if you are interested, it's a good companion to this video. Maybe some of the points are going to be duplicate, but there's some new points in that other video too that are very interesting as well. So make sure you go check it out. Otherwise, have a wonderful day. And it's great talking to you today. Bye-bye.